Nigeria's last population and housing census was conducted in November 2026. Since then, multiple attempts to hold another census have faced setbacks due to funding shortages, insecurity, and logistical challenges. A fresh census was initially scheduled for 2023 under former President Muhammadu Buhari, but was postponed due to budget constraints and political transitions. Now, as another census is being planned for 2025, the National Population Commission, NPC, proposed a budget of 942 billion naira. However, President Bola Tinubu has rejected this proposal, citing the need for cost-cutting measures. He has also suggested using members of the National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, to reduce expenses. With this development, we will be discussing Nigeria's census plan, challenges, cost-cutting measures, and the way forward. To help us analyze these issues, we have with us Dr. Abubakar Afegbua, a renowned data analyst and expert in demographic statistics. Dr. Afegbua, you're welcome to Business Express.
Thank you very much, Nika. Nice to be here.
All right. Well, the last time Nigeria conducted the census was actually 2006 and not 2026. Now, to the questions, let's begin with your take on the challenges that Nigeria has faced in conducting a census since 2026. 2006. What are the issues, sir?
Well, the truth of the matter is that the country has the capacity. The National Population Commission is a highly mobile technical institution vested with the powers to conduct a census. And President Goodluck Jonathan, at one point in time, started the process of preparing for a census. But his regime was cut short by the election, and then President Buhari came on stream. With the coming of President Muhammadu Buhari, funds were released and active work went to play. The National Population Commission, under the chairmanship of Nasir Kwara, started the enumeration area demarcation, and a lot of work was done. Nigeria generated the best enumeration area demarcation data in Africa. S3 even gave us an international award for that. We have the best EAD in Africa, comprising of over 600,000 enumeration areas. Some countries have just 90-something thousand, some 70 in terms of size. But can you imagine that size? 600,000 enumeration areas. A lot of work was done. Chairman Nasir went on. We did pre-tests in preparation for the census. We did a second pre-test. We did a trial census. We did a master's training. Training was done, national training, zonal training, and state-level training. But at the point of the last and final training, which was to be the local government training, which is the precursor to entering the field for enumeration, the commission was told to hold on, which was a big blow, because till now, 19 years after, we don't have a census. Your data is stale, and also we don't have any reliable projections. There are so many sources of data in Nigeria, coming from the World Bank, the African Union. Everybody's speculating. All you have there is the speculation. But Nigerian government, the National Population Commission, should be able to tell Nigerians how many we are. That is why it's worrisome that till now we do not have a census.
Yeah, Nigeria's last census was conducted in 2006, yeah, which means we are working with outdated data.
Yes.
How do you think this lack of accurate data has impacted our development as a country?
Well, Neka, ask yourself, how has the country been planning for 19 years? I've attended many international conferences, and they're asking us, how do you guys plan? How do you advise your government? There are several components of the economy. We have an educational component, we have infrastructure, we have demographic component, we have the health component. We have so many components. How do you plan for them? How does government plan for new schools? How does government plan for hospitals? How does government plan for employment? So what you are doing in Nigeria is nothing but voodoo planning. You are planning without data. Without data, you are planning to fail. So it is worrisome. Nigeria needs to do a census. We need to know how many we are to enable us plan properly and be respected by the international community. You can't tell anybody that you did your census in 2006 and say, what are you planning?
All right, President Tinubu recently rejected a budget of 942 billion naira submitted by the National Population Commission for the conduct of the forthcoming census, insisting that the exercise must be conducted at a significantly lower cost. As a census expert, what is your take on this?
Worrisome. 900 billion, that's about $600 million. Even South Africa, which is a better economy, stronger economy, did not spend 600 million on their last census. Worrisome in the sense that I asked myself, did that census proposal, the budget proposal, did it pass through due process? Did the commissioners see that budget? Because in the National Population Commission, you are supposed to have 36 commissioners for the states plus FCT plus a sitting chairman. You have the directors. You have the Census Technical Working Group. You have the commissioners. You have committees. You have chairmen of committees. Did they sit down to look at this budget? I know that there's a biometric component to it in which the president approved that the commission should use biometrics for efficiency and for, thoroughness. But that notwithstanding, I asked myself, should President Tinubu be the one telling MPC to bring coppers? Why couldn't the commission on their own decide on cost-cutting measures? That's my question, and it's worrisome.
Yeah, the president actually suggested deploying NYC members to handle the enumeration, which could reduce personnel expenses. Do you think this is a viable solution?
Wonderful idea.
Or are there other ways to make the census more
wonderful
cost-effective?
idea, Neka. It's a very wonderful idea. One thing about Mr. President is, as I've followed him, I'm a respecter of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, one of the most brilliant presidents this country has ever produced. I'm apolitical, but I'll tell you that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, his pedigree, his background as Lagos State Governor, he knows what he's doing. It was a brilliant idea. Deploy coppers. You can deploy primary school teachers, secondary school teachers. These are people who have the skill and knowledge already. Because your plan is to conduct a digital biometric census. You don't just go out there and say you are recruiting people. If you recruit these people, do they even have the background? Do they have the knowledge? You go there, you recruit a radio repairer, tomato seller, or put there, everybody wants to earn money. President Tinubu just gave an idea. Coppers. And there are others you can also recruit. Thank you very much.
So what are the implications of further delays in conducting the census?
The implication is that among the International Committee of Nations, it is not speaking well for our country. I was in Pretoria, South Africa for the Census Expert Group meeting. And they appealed to Nigeria, Congo, and Ethiopia. These are the largest countries in Africa in terms of population. And these countries did not conduct the 2020 round of census. And they even said we should go projections. When I was in the commission, I pushed for it. I made a lot of efforts, but my effort was not successful. I have everything documented. But, well, what we really need is a census. Now, the 2020 round of census ended 31st January 2025. We're in another round. We are now in the 2030 round of census. I think President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should put together a team of experts to sit down, revise, do a comprehensive audit of the National Population Commission. I don't think there's a need to rush at this stage because already we missed the last round, we're in the new round, and most of the requirements for the new rounds are not ready and they're not in place yet. In Pretoria, we brought a census e-book for Africa, and the P&R has not been finalized for the 2030 round of census. So the president should sit down with the commission, or his budget and planning minister should sit down with the commission, bring a group of experts that know what they are doing, and plan thoroughly so that at the most possibly as early as possible, maybe in the next 2-3 years after the election, because if you ask me, my dear, elections are here already. 2026 an election year, and I don't see them doing a census in 2025. It's not possible. As an expert, the commission cannot do the census this year again. It's not, we're already in March. So you have 9 months to go. International best practices, you cannot conduct a census in 2025. So the president should put a team together to start planning for a census latest 2028. Let us do a proper census for this country. Thank you very much.
All right. There have been concerns about the credibility and accuracy of past censuses in Nigeria. What measures do you think needs to be put in place to ensure that the next census is free from bias and manipulation?
That is the deployment of technology. You can see the president himself insisted on the use of biometrics. Biometrics is technology. Already, the P&R and the census e-book recommends that we should do digital census. A digital census is the use of technology in a census. And this means that we are going to put in place softwares, processes, procedures that will guide against double counting, inflation, manipulation, and human interference in the conduct of the census.
How can the census account for invisible population, especially unconventional housing or those without homes?
Well, I think by invisible population, you might mean special population, and also you mean hard-to-reach population.
Sure.
The Population Commission, the good thing they did is that there's a team, a specialized team, which is in charge of hard-to-reach. It's headed by one of the directors, Director Dance Cartography, Mrs. Ojesho Haba, and that's their job. They have trained and they are prepared to deploy to such areas. Then for the special population, there are processes in enumerating special population. These are people like fishing, hunting, homeless, displaced persons, IDPs. All these people constitute the special population. The commission has in place processes, not just the commission, the census process, the P&R, the principle and recommendation has in place processes to enumerate such persons.
As a census planning, management, and statistics expert and the immediate past director of census, what, in your perspective, are the most critical data points that need to be collected during the census, and how can these data be used to inform development policies?
Well, thank you very much for that question. I think Nigeria needs to develop a data ecosystem like other countries. Our data gathering institutions are scattered. You have on one side, you have the MBS, you have NIMSI, you have MPC, you have immigration. Everything is disjointed, disorganized, and disoriented. The president should harmonize, synergize, integrate. Some of these agencies should come together. And this problem was created by the military, because the military were creating jobs for the boys. They started creating several MDAs and institutions so that they can appoint chairmen, they can appoint PAMSECs, they can appoint. Go to South Africa. There's Statistics South Africa, the almighty Statistics South Africa. One institution. They handle all these things you are doing. Go to America. There's the US Census Bureau, one institution. It handles. Go to Gambia, small Gambia. There's BOSA, Gambian Office of Statistics. One organization. I was in a workshop in Gambia, and the man rose up when we had some interactions. I brought some information. The MBS man brought an information, and he said, "Oh, we know the problem of Nigeria. You have Population Commission, and you have MBS. So different things you are doing. you should get your you should put your things together. Gambia, small Gambia, which is not up to one state in Nigeria. A time has come for the president to develop a data, get a group of experts together, synchronize the data ecosystem, make it the intelligence arm of data gathering in Nigeria, put together all experts under one umbrella, and let us be able to get accurate. Nigerian population is huge, almost 300 million. We can't play with our population, please. It's a matter of life and death. It's a matter of national development. It's a matter of prosperity. Without this information, Nigeria is going nowhere. We must get our data act together for Nigeria to progress.
Definitely.
Thank you very much.
I must say a very big thank you to you, Dr. Afegbua, for sharing your thoughts with us on Business Express. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Neka. Nice to be here.
Moving on, oil prices